आपने health and safety की बात भी की. What are the different things that I have to take care of? What is the checklist of items or routines or processes you have to put in place कि आपका restaurant वो health and safety standards को meet करेगा? So when the inspectors come, it will pass all the tests.
So, I'll take you to a beautiful story that I was first time induced to. So we were executive chefs, food and beverage directors and general managers in a conference in Shanghai at the time when I was with Westin. So Starwood Hotels के कुछ हजार top management के लोग बैठे हैं एक room में, and Alice Wong, who's the head of finance, comes and opens this conference and said, "Good morning, everyone." In that Hong Kong accent, I want to ask everybody a question. What is that one thing you need to run a hotel properly? And all the general managers, will smile. Oh, market share. Oh, profitability. Or, the chefs are saying great food. The food and beverage directors are saying great experience. Oh, no, you're all wrong. 1,000 top leaders of 500 hotels in a room saying all wrong. The only thing you need to run a great hotel is common sense. And that is so deep and is so true, because if you actually thread out every single process of running a hotel, you will get all your answers. So when your guest comes in, the darban can choose to open the door with a smile, with a warmth, or just open the door. That decides your guest experience right from point zero. Then it comes to reception. Common sense. What does he need? He's come from a long flight or he's come traveling from somewhere. He cannot be standing in a line for a long time. That's where hotels came up with the process of in-room check-in. Common sense, right? क्या साइन करना है ना, पासपोर्ट देखना है ना, मैं कर लूँगा. Just give me your passport, I'll give it back to you. मेरे लिए एक्स्ट्रा काम है, होटल बोल रहा है, but I'll do it for you. For me, that's more important that you are relaxed. Why do you have water, chilled water, towels on your reception desk? Because of all of this, right? You start thinking, if I am traveling from a long distance flight and I'm coming to a hotel, what is happening to me? And that's why, the general managers who were given these privileges to travel for this conference and that conference, they had to come and submit a report of what changes are you going to make when you come back. For us as executive chefs, we were not just given a priority, seat and all of those goodies and staying in a beautiful hotel for 7 days, but we were asked for a report that what was your learnings and how will you take those learnings and start using them. And we had to come down to trash basics of saying, okay, this is what I want, this is what my customer wants. And when our eye changes from me, the hotel, serving you, the customer, to you, the customer, me, the hotel, understanding your needs, that's where the game changes. So now, even if I take your question on health and hygiene, common sense. माँ कभी भी बिना हाथ धोए किचन में घुसती है? नहीं घुसती. So your entry point पे आपका सिंक होना चाहिए. Entry point पे sanitizer होना चाहिए. Because there are too many surfaces, there are too many people. किचन में तो एक ही माँ होती है. एक ही का हाथ लग रहा होता है. यहाँ पे 12 लोग हैं, 12 डिफरेंट हाथ, पर्सनल हाइजीन. कौन टॉयलेट गया, किसने हाथ धोया, नहीं धोया, मैं तो नहीं देख सकता. So I need to make sure that before they enter the kitchen, their hands are clean, their hands are sanitized, they're well groomed. I'm all of my part of my checklist. And then when my checklist every single day, I'm making sure माँ कभी भी 2 दिन से ऊपर खाना रखती है. So 48-hour shelf life, right? I mean, all this is common sense. If you have to just relate it back to your home, this is just basic common sense. So today everything is available online. So you look at your checklist that what you need to have a great place for health and safety. All your rules are there, and you relate them all back to common sense. And they're all common sense. The reason why we're not using a kitchen towel versus a paper towel is because in a kitchen there's one hand using everything. If there's one doctor in an operating theater, they would not even use gloves. But there are 7 people in an operation theater, 7 different biomes, 7 different viruses probably carried with them. They need to make sure that it becomes an atmosphere which is safe, right? So that's where the difference is. We are a community serving a community. My primal thing is that if you eat my food, you just don't enjoy it, but you enjoy it tomorrow as well, which means that you're not been sitting on the pot for a long time and you're having a stomach ache or whatever. So I am thinking it from that perspective. If I am bothered about my consumer, in that every aspect. So taste will not only be my aspect. कहीं कहीं जाते हो आप बोलते हो सोडा ज़्यादा था, पेट में दर्द हो गया, पेट फूल गया. Because they're not thinking that. They're thinking मेरा फ़ायदा. They're not thinking the whole journey. If you think the whole journey, all it needs is a great leader throttling this down for you. And that's where a McKinsey of life comes in and takes millions of dollars from you and gives you a perspective that you already knew or you did not think of, which was right there. So that's what we do as consultants today. I mean, whenever I'm opening restaurants, I look at all these basic things. When I'm designing a kitchen, I don't become Chef Ajay Chopra, the master chef. I become the commie Ajay Chopra and stand there that if I am cooking, where will my pan go? Most of my chefs are right-handed, which means their pan will go on the left hand because that's where I'm picking my pan from. I'm never going to use a pan from here and then put it here. It's obstruction of time. One onion at a time. This is what happened. How did I approach from 8 bags of onions to 8 bags of onions in 10 hours to 8 bags of onion in 5 hours? Was because TQM, total quality management, was happening even in onions. I picking up from here, नहीं 5 सेकंड ज़्यादा लग रहा है, इसको यहाँ करो, 1 सेकंड ज़्यादा लग रहा है, डस्टबिन को यहाँ करो. So I was making those changes in my own atmosphere so that I could become more efficient. And now you have to think not for your own self, but for the 12 people who will be working when you are not there. I don't live in Abu Dhabi, but yesterday I got a feedback from one customer. Your food's been so consistent. You're not there. How come this happens? I said, it's very simple. It's very simple. You believe in your people and you train them well so that they become your imposters. That's it. That's very simple. But it's just that a lot of people, it's a big journey from here to here. I believe in my people. I believe in my people. It's a big journey. Now this journey ke beech mein, there will be people who will mess up. But if your heart is, I believe in my people, I will train them even though they make mistakes. I believe in my people. I'll fire them if they make mistakes. You see the difference? Yeah? So I think that's where a businessman has to agree, understand, realize, believe that this is not just a process that I can run a great restaurant. It's a part of the process. Everything is a part of the process. Money is a part of the process. Coming in, going out, both. Right? So you have to understand it, and that's why there is no book written in this whole wide world where people can pick up a book, how to open a restaurant, A, B, C. There is no written book. Have you ever wondered why? Because each restaurant is a case study. Each restaurant will become a case study for itself because it will excel not just on one parameter. You can have ground rules to open a restaurant, but you can never have how to open a restaurant. There is no book like that because each restaurant is a different story, a different location, a different set of people coming together to create success. I can never make my restaurant successful because I cannot do that if I don't have a great team. If my great team doesn't believe in me, I cannot do that. It's all intertwined. So I have to understand, believe, and then expect. And I also believe in one thing very strongly is that things don't happen when you expect. Things happen when you inspect. And I think Dubai, Abu Dhabi is a great example of this, So we are human beings. Everybody needs a latada end of the day.